There are many people that are hurting in churches across America. Many of them suffer in silence, thinking that no one understands or cares about their trials and grief. Some may even believe that the Lord doesn't care about their situation. We know that hope and comfort come from the Word of God. Yet at times, preaching can fall short of meeting the need of those that hurt.
Hello, my name is John Ashley, and this is my wife Joanne, and we're the founders of Living in Spite of Ministries. The Lord blessed us with a son that was born with multiple unique malformations. Our youngest son, Johnny, was born with a cleft lip and cleft palate, 2 bad heart valves, horseshoe-shaped kidney. He was profoundly deaf. He had kyphosis of the spine. All told, Johnny had well over 40 surgeries in his lifetime, some major, some minor in comparison, but when they're your child, they're all major. Johnny went to be with the Lord in October of 2015. Johnny faced all his challenges with a smile on his face for the most part. He had a sweet spirit about him, and he inspired so many lives and taught my wife and I very many lessons that God has used. And shortly after Johnny passed away, the Lord put on our heart to write a book about the grace and the strength the Lord gave us during the years that we were raising Johnny. And while we were writing that book, the Lord put on our heart all those that were hurting around us. We realized how many people are going through difficulties, going through heartache, and going through pain. And that's when we realized the Lord called us into this ministry. We try to come and encourage, educate, and equip God's people to live for the Lord in spite of the trials that they face. When we go into churches and so many people come and talk to us afterwards and tell us how encouraged they are by us sharing our story and our life with them. It's also our desire that people would realize that there's a purpose to their pain. What we go through isn't just something that God could have prevented, but something God is using to build a testimony in our lives, and that we can reach out to others that are going through pain and comfort them with the comfort that the Lord has given us through all the trials that He's allowed us to go through.
My first encounter with Johnny is forever etched in my mind. My husband wheeled me into the intensive care unit to see Johnny, and I remember a petite nun was standing over his incubator. And as I stood up, she said, "Are you his mother?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "He is so sweet." She said, "I've been visiting with him, and he's got the sweetest little personality, and he's just a precious little child." And I looked at her, and I thought, how could she tell this? How can she know this? And she looked at me, and she said, "And just think, God chose you to be his mother." And when she said those words to me, I thought, okay, Joanne, you need to step up and be his mother. God has chosen you to be his mother. Now, had she said to me, I'm so sorry this happened, and you're going to have a long road ahead of you, that would have given me pity to take on from that day forward. But by her saying, God chose you, I went, that was just what I needed to hear. That whole incident was ordained of God, and I thank the Lord for that.
Many times we come in contact with someone that is going through difficulties and grief. We have a desire to be a help to them, but don't know what to say or do. The Ashleys have had experience in needing comfort and trying to give comfort as a pastor and wife.
Down through the years, we've had many pastors and pastors' wives ask us to help those that are in their care, that are going through trials, that are going through grief, that are going through heartache. And we have had the privilege of being on both sides of giving care to others as a pastor and a pastor's wife, and at the same time needing comfort as we had gone through a lot of the trials and the struggles that the Lord allowed us to go through. It's our heart and our desire that when we leave a church after we've ministered for a day, that people that are going through trials would be encouraged. People that want to help others will have basic tools to be able to be an encouragement and be a help to others that are hurting, so that they would know how best to help them, and then equip God's people to realize that our trials are just part of what God's doing in our life to glorify Himself through us and showing His power to not only other Christians but the lost world out there, because we have to realize that there are many people that are lost, that are hurting, and we have the truth. We have the Comforter dwelling inside of us.
There's a lot of people in local churches that do not understand the burden and the heartbreak of people dealing with loss, with special needs people, with caregiving. Caregiving is such a needed thing, but it's a difficult thing. And so the in spite of, or living in spite of days, they help people, opens their mind to people around them, their eyes to the need in their community, and helps people to consider where they might be a servant in a local church helping people.
We are so encouraged to have the Ashleys and Living in Spite of Ministries as part of our ministry family here at Emmanuel. And it is with great confidence that I endorse and encourage you pastors and other church ministries, allow the Ashleys to come and be a blessing to you. He can preach the Word of God faithfully from a perspective of someone who has not only knows the Word of God, but has had to live it in their own lives. Pastors, he will be a great encouragement to you, and you should feel confident to allow the Ashleys to get to know your church people.
The conference was about living in spite of. And again, a lot of people can connect with that. And so I just saw on that day, it just really, again, reinforced that no matter how hard life gets, you can make it in spite of. And you can go on in spite of the difficulties.
Living in Spite of Ministries will have an impact on the people of your church and the community around your church if you are willing to reach out to the hurting. For questions or to book a meeting, contact Brother Ashley at johnashley@livinginspiteof.com or call 734-674-0384.